Hey everybody, welcome back to Godwin's Garage / Jack of all trades. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. Been kind of busy. It is now February 3rd, I think. Yeah. 2024, so Happy New Year. Today I'm going to be working on a friend's car. It's a 2006, I think. Maybe newer. It's a Mazda 6. I'm going to do the rear brakes and rotors, complete change out. I was going to do a front wheel bearing and some other stuff, but and the front brakes too. They didn't send the right stuff. They sent me the bearing but not the other parts. And I wanted front brakes, and they sent me another set of back brakes. I don't need two sets of back brakes. Yeah. So, I'm going to go from there. Let me get all set up out there, and I'll bring you guys back out. So, yeah. Alright, pull this off. You guys. E-brake's not set. Okay. Yeah, you always want to check the e-brake, make sure it's not set or anything. Rotors are pretty screwed up. And the pads are done. So let me get some tools for this stuff, and then we'll go from there. You guys are right in the sun, huh? Move it forward more. Shock's leaking. I'll let the guy know that. Camber arms worn out. Alright. Let me get my tools. Alright. 14, take it loose. Right. Stick it back there. Check these out. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, wow. Okay. That looks exactly the same. Alrighty then. Check these, make sure those are loose. They are, they're good. That's fine. Oh, fun. Yay. I gotta see if I have that. Yeah. Alright. Oh, those look like the same size. Actually, it might be a 15. Well, it's a 14 as well. So you take caliper off, and then you take caliper bracket off to get the rotor off. This setup's a little easier, but some you have to take set screws out and actually run that set screw here to back it off. Not this one though. That's the kind I like. Makes my day easier. Alright. So this thing's pretty easy. Both size bolts are the same for the caliper and caliper bracket. They're both 14 millimeter. Take those out. You can take the caliper bracket off, and then take the caliper off. That's a different brake setup than e-brake setup I've seen. It locks in the back, torques it out, spins it that way, or pushes it, I guess. Yep. Okay, let me grab the rotors and stuff and get my tool for this and the brake pads, and I'll be back. Alright, so here's the new rotor. It's a drilled and slotted. These are pretty good rotors. I don't have brake clean, so I'm going to use glass cleaner. This has it's ammonia free, but it has alcohol in it. That'll work just fine. Pull the residue and stuff off. So let's go ahead and wipe these things down. Cleaned off best you can. I know I'm using the wrong rags. I'm using paper towels. I should be using the blue rags, but I don't have any right now. And I'm not going to go all the way to town just for that. So these will work just fine. I hope. Good. Yep. Sure. Okay, so that's all cleaned off. I'll throw that on. There we go. That's on there now. Goes off my waist. Oh. Next thing you want to do, these have a screw-in type piston that comes out. You're going to need a tool like this. It's going to be, I believe, that one. Yes, it's that one. You're going to put an extension in it and your wrench. Twist it in. One thing I will recommend doing here when you do this, so you don't put air into the system when you tighten those down, take this cap off and spin it in, because as soon as you spin it in, it'll push air through the system and all that good stuff. So yeah, so you're going to grab a wrench that fits that. It looks like it's going to be a 10 millimeter. You're going to loosen it a little bit, start turning that in until that thing starts pissing out. Stop what you're doing, grab a tube, put it on there, a little, a hose or something. It's going to be, I believe it's 1/4 inch, something like that. Put it on, and then put it into a bucket or a bottle or something to get rid of it. Don't put it on the ground. It's not good for the environment, I guess. At least that's what Greta says. I don't care. I'm just kidding. Anyways, let me get that stuff, and I'll be right back. Alright, got me a tube. Already busted that loose. So now, put an extension in there. And, well, see if I can get it to go in. Wow. Well, this is fighting me. Of course it is. Come on, spin. Anyways, just keep tightening it in. I'm having an issue with this, so I'll be back. Okay, I had to keep messing with the boot while I was tightening it down, which you shouldn't have to do, but sometimes shit happens. Stuff happens. Oh well. So I'll throw these on. I got that on there. Throw these back on. Once you get everything in, you're going to take some brake grease. You're going to stick them in these little slots where the brake pad sits. Right inside of these spots right in here, on both either side and on top and bottom. Yeah, so you do that. Pretty easy. I gotta move this thing out of the way. Put this back on. Use blue Loctite on those bolts to put that back on. So, blue Loctite, you want to be able to get them off easily. I mean, not real easy, but you know what I mean. That's probably too much. Perfect. Grab a rag and get some of that off. There we go. Throw this back in. Okay, and then the other bolt, same thing. That's how much you should put on there, a little dot. Put the other one in, if I can get to it. Okay, shove that back as far as I can. Move this out of the way. Try not to take it out of the bucket while you're working on it. Right. Put this back on. You're just going to tighten it down. You're going to put your brake pads and stuff back on, and then see if this is spun enough on that piston. If not, keep doing it. Okay. Alright, so there's that. Well, that ain't gonna do no good. Okay, go grab the brake caliper grease. Brake quiet. Fancy. I'm going to put them on the brake pads. I'm not going to put them in there. Jesus. Okay. They're all the same. That one. Do the other one. Okay. And you put this in. Oh, make sure you put it in the right way. Squeeze these in to make them hold it there. Okay, now you're going to take the caliper, swing it over this, and see if it's open far enough. Mine is not, so we're going to loosen this back up again. And continue spinning that to open it up more. So, like I said, you just stick those into the piece. On these pistons on the caliper, it'll have slots. So some of them have 2, some of them have, I think, 3. I think. maybe not. You'll see which one works for yours. This one's got the 4 on it, so I'm using the 4. Stick it in there, tighten it up. These you do not set for loosen, because if you try to loosen these, it ain't gonna work, and it'll probably screw something up. So just take your time, spin it, watch the boot, because if it starts to rip or anything, you're gonna have to stop what you're doing and try to push the boot to where it's supposed to be. Now, check that and see how that's doing. Definitely helps to have the hose there. And then try to stick it on there. That one's good. So that'll work. Nope, no it's not. Never mind. So a little bit more. Not much. It's almost there. Okay. Went right on. So I'll leave that there. Tighten that up. Take your 10 to stop it from leaking out. There it is. And that's it. Now, you're going to take this piece back off, and you're going to see your contact points. This one, and then the piston in the back. Take this grease, stick it where they contact the pad. So there, and there, pretty sure anyways, that's where it goes. And then right in the center, just do a little dot all the way around it. I would say that's good. So there we go for that. And now, clean my hands off for one. Alright, now you got that tightened up. Pull this off. Let it drain. Little tricks, not having to worry about stuff getting spilt everywhere. So yeah, these are pretty simple. They're not too bad. Yeah, I'm gonna finish buttoning this thing up. So let's put this back on. Now that we got that all greased up where it's supposed to be. Now, sometimes these will be tightened where you put your bolt into. I don't think you can see it. Let's pull you guys over here. So, there. This piece here, sometimes these won't move and they'll be stuck. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull that whole boot off, take that whole thing out, clean it, sand it down, put some more caliper grease or whatever on it, and then put it back in. Those need to move to be able to do what they need to do. Let's see, is there anything else I need to tell you guys for that? No. Okay, same thing. Blue Loctite on this. Little dot. Not a lot. That'll work. Put this into here. These ones are a little bit heavier because they got that they got the e-brake on the back side of this, so it makes it a little awkward with the weight, but still, it's doable. Definitely doable. And then once you're all finished up, now remember, you gotta do both sides, so the same way you loosen that thing up, drain it as you tighten it in. A lot of these newer cars have ABS. When you push those pistons in, if air gets into it, it's going to screw it up. It has a liability taking that ABS module out. As far as I can remember, it's a very good practice to just loosen that up, no matter what year the vehicle is. If it's an old one, do the same thing, loosen it up a little bit. You don't have to take it all the way out, just enough to let fluid out as you push the piston in. It'll help you in the long run. You won't have to pump the brakes. When you get in, you'll hit the brakes a couple times and they're tightened back up. You'll check your fluid when you're done to make sure it's not too low. If it needs to be topped off a little bit, top it off. I'm just doing the rear brakes, so I'm probably not going to add nothing because the front ones still need to be done. So if I overfill it, it's going to overfill. Overfill? Yeah. It just depends though. I'll check it and still make sure it's good. And sometimes also what I'll do, depending on the color of the brake fluid and how it smells, I may just drain the whole thing and put new fluid in. But you need a tool for that, especially with the ABS. The old school trucks, like the 80s and stuff that don't have the ABS, you don't have to worry about that. You just open the bleeder screws and let them drain. Yeah. So with the reason they have the bleeder screws on the top is because air rises, so it's going to come out of the fluid and push out through the top, so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, that's it. Let me stop talking and finish this. One more bolt here. Okay, so that one's in, this one's in, and now I'm also going to go through and make sure all of the bolts are tight. So this one, good. This bottom one, same thing. Okay, so that's good. Some shock treatment, make it work. Okay, that's all tightened up. You're going to go back with your 10, double check your bleeder screw. That's good. Take your dust cover, put it back on. Looks like this. Throw that back on there. That's it. So we replaced the rotors and the brakes, or brake pad I should say. Pretty simple. So let me move this stuff, put the tire back on, make sure we got everything tightened down. Oh. Okay. Oh. So, take the tire, throw it back on. Wow, man, this one's heavy. There we go. Just snug them up. Make sure it's good. Do a crisscross pattern. Don't go around the wheel, especially with these aluminum ones, or alloy I should say, same thing. Steel ones too, just do a tightening pattern and crisscross. 5 lug like this one, start at the bottom, go up, go across, that way, and then you're done. Now that you got them all tightened down, then you can go around it and just make sure they're all tightened up to where the tire moves. And there's that. So now you can let the car down. Those are pretty easy. You're going to pretty much do the same thing on the opposite side. Yeah, just make sure you use your grease and Loctite and stuff so those bolts don't back out. Clean the calipers, especially if they have grease from the factory or like an oil residue on it. It keeps them from rusting. Get it off. You'll smoke the pads right away. Don't forget to do that. That's a big step in putting these pads on, or the rotors and pads and stuff. I believe this is a 2006 or something like that. Mazda. Let me make sure. Oh, it's 2010. Okay, 2010 Mazda 6. So there you guys go. Brake job on a 2010 Mazda 6. Kind of a similar thing for the front. You just don't have the e-brake thing on the back. The bolt hole, or the bolts, are probably bigger, maybe. The pads are definitely wider across. They're not small, they're pretty big. That's it. I'm going to do the other side, and then when I'm all done, I'll set her down and show you guys how I finish off everything else. One more thing I forgot to mention. I don't know why I forgot. Probably because I've been pretty tired. Anyways, torque the wheels, or the lug nuts. Yeah. The 2010 Mazda 6. The trim models, you got the Sport and the S or something like that, or Touring and the S, something. The year, let's see here, let me show you. So, get over there. So you got 2 years on here, or not 2 years, but 2 cars of the Mazda 6. Oh, you guys can't even see it. Anyways, Mazda 6 Touring /S, 2009 to 2018. There's another one on here that says 16" I, 2003 to 2008. Don't do that one. This is 2010. You got to follow the year code. If you tighten these too much, it can snap them off. So I'm going to go with Mazda 6 Touring /S. It's 2000, from 2009 to 2018, 80 foot-pounds. So I'm going to do about 85. It's going to be in between 80 and 90. Don't go above 85. Yeah, don't forget to torque them. I almost forgot. Alright, so I got the fronts and the, well, not the fronts, the rotors done in the back, torque down and everything. Let's go check the fluids, make sure it's good, and then tap the brakes. Fluid's good, or the level anyways. Okay. Now, you get in the car, have some fun. Oh, alright, so what you want to do, actually, don't do that yet. You're going to tap on the brake just to get it nice and firm. So pretty much. Two. That's it. And you start it up and it should be back to normal. I hope. Good. I put it in drive. Lead brake. Good. That's it. So that's how you do rear brakes and rotors on a 2010 Mazda 6. Yeah, pretty simple, pretty easy. You got the customer coming now. Always check the fluid when you're done to make sure it's within, you know, it's a little under max, but it's fine. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. He said he already had the front brakes done. The pads look pretty bad, or not the pads. The rotors look pretty bad, but I didn't check the brakes. Now that I recall that him saying that, I do remember him saying getting the back or the front brakes done. So back brakes are good. That's all I care about. Made sure they're fucking fine. Oh, sorry for the cuss words. If you guys have any questions on anything that I just did, or to get those tools that I use, like a little block, you can get those at O'Reilly's. That's where I get most of my specialty stuff. I have one of those, and I also have this set here, which is another style, which actually I could have used this style on it. And I'm thinking about it, but it's fine. The square ones work just fine. Yeah, so that's it. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe, share it. Anything helps. Alright? See you guys next time.